Chastain. So nice to get a chance to chat with you all.
Yeah, it's kind of nice to talk to you too.
How are you two? How are you holding up?
Doing lots of crosswords.
Of course she is.
Writing a lot of poetry in French.
Doing Duolingo, learning.
Yeah.
Hola.
For Brandi, but only for Brandi.
I'm missing all of you.
I know. Same.
Missing all of you.
We need to do more Zoom chats. We've got another one coming up, actually. I'm going to send you an email on.
Cool.
Can we make them themed? Just
costumes, prizes.
Yeah, just to make them exciting.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Great idea.
Yeah, why not?
And welcome to all of you who are watching. And I hope, and I know I speak for Mia and Brandi as well, that we hope that you're doing well, staying safe, staying home, staying sane, which is equally difficult given the crazy times. But what is really cool is US Soccer, knowing we needed some distractions, kindly came to the rescue. And they are going to be airing the USA, that was our team way back, 1997 versus England from Brandi's hometown, San Jose.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby.
You know,
it's going to be on ussoccer.com. It's on US Soccer's YouTube channel. It's on its Facebook channel. It's everywhere.
Twitter.
Yeah, so we're going all the way back
Do it.
to 1997, May, what is it? 9th? What's the date? I don't know. Doesn't matter. It's May 1997. Brandi, because we used to always do this with the camera. Can you set the scene, please?
It's a lovely day in spring in San Jose, California, and the U.S. Women's National Team is going to be playing in California for the, what time, Julie? How many times did we play in California?
This is crazy, honestly. We just learned this. Only the second time in California.
It was the first time ever at Spartan Stadium and in San Jose, and it drew the biggest crowd, 17,350, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's
it,
a
you
big
know,
crowd for that time. Pre-99.
Yes, pre-99, and it was amazing. That was my hometown stadium where I watched the San Jose Earthquakes of the old North American Soccer League, and where I learned to, I mean, I was section 11, row 9, seat 3. Like, that was me. I never got out of my seat. I watched, like, my eyes bugging out of my head. I loved it. On that field, one summer I went to Santa Clara University, San Jose Earthquakes soccer camp. And it was like 300 boys and 5 girls at an overnight soccer camp. And we got to play at halftime. And they had 4 goals on the field. And I scored a goal and the crowd cheered. And I thought, oh my gosh, that is the most amazing thing I've ever felt. So it's where I grew up learning and loving soccer. And so for me, it was an amazing chance to play in front of my family, in front of my hometown. But also for me, it's like really the place where soccer was born.
When you found out the game was there, do you remember what that emotion was?
Jules, hello, do you know how old I am? I don't know if I can remember that. But I do remember.
You're like, I can't remember yesterday. Well, then.
Yeah, yesterday I might have a chance at 1997, maybe not. But from the looks of it and all the faces that obviously that everybody's going to see when they watch the game, you know, it was just a really happy time. I remember just how exciting. I mean, it was post 96 Olympics. So it was a very exciting time.
Victory tour game, actually. Why we were playing that in May of 1997 still, not sure. Probably because we couldn't get 10 games in.
Exactly.
But yeah, I think I heard JP say it was a victory tour game.
Yeah.
I thought maybe some of those frames on your couch behind you might have pulled back some of those memories, but because it seems you have quite a few. I'm just noticing even without my glasses. What is going on back there, by the way?
I'm redoing you know, like when stuff starts happening, you know, we get some, let's see, what do I have?
Oh my God.
Empowered women.
Yay.
Nice.
My grandmother, my mom's mom. Yeah.
That's cute.
I feel like I see some Olympic rings back there too.
I think that is from someone's wedding. Mia, it could have been yours. Or
You in the hot red dress?
yeah, and then
Yeah.
the girls.
Aw.
Look at that.
Aw.
The oldies but goodies.
Aw. I didn't know
And,
it was
Look at
that.
Yeah. And so
Very nice.
yeah. I want to throw a shout out to my youth girls team because I told them to watch this game.
I've got
Stars.
a
Oh, you got a
pencil sharpener.
I've got a printer.
Awesome.
Really
Let's
excited.
see,
Yeah.
Wait, wait, no, come on, pull out your ukulele.
I'm gonna. Yeah.
Come on, Mia. Strum it.
It's gonna be somebody's birthday out there. Can you play it?
it's gotta be some. It's my uncle's birthday.
Let's go. Let's see it. This is your first song.
No, I
live.
can't.
Can you do it live on YouTube?
I have stage fright.
Oh man.
That's real.
Yeah. Tish and I are starting a band.
Yeah.
What's the name of your band?
They're going to be called Quarantine
Yeah.
Hobbies.
The Quarantinis.
Oh God.
All right, Mia, what do you remember from this game? Because I'm just gonna foreshadow this a little bit. If people don't recall what happened in this game, if I had a game like that, I'd be able to recall every single detail.
No, I get asked a lot, like, what's your favorite goal you've ever scored? And it's actually this game. It's not a goal, but the series of goals, because for me, as a forward, you're always trying to become a finisher, a goal scorer, as opposed to someone who just hits the ball as hard as they can. And the thing about those three goals for me were they were all different. And, one was a free kick that was driven, another one was a bending ball, and then the other one was, I just cut it back.
Freaking dribble, dude. That's what it was called.
It was a fast break with Tiffany Milbritt. So I was just trying to keep up with her. But I think for me, that just gave me so much confidence in terms of where I wanted to be as a finisher for our team, that I was starting to accrue the skill sets to be able to call myself that, rather than just trying to hit the ball as hard as I could every time.
Yeah. Or just be lethal from 1 yard out like me.
Yeah, I was gonna say Jules, pretty impressive. Very impressive. Don't give it away though. Don't give it away. Don't give it away.
But I love it. Like when Jules scores, it's like this element of surprise, on this look of surprise on her face. Like, oh my God.
It's pure joy. I look up to the sky.
You almost made me have water come out of my nose. Oh my
God. Those three goals, to your point, the first one, you had to have been, I mean, it felt like 300 yards out, but you were a good 30 yards out, and then and driven. And then the second one that just whipped in through traffic, bent in. And then the third one where you just sliced and diced, it's like cut, and then I'll cut you again. And then all three of you trying to put pressure on me, I'm just going to lift it to the top corner.
You know what's interesting is, so Hope Powell, who used to be the head coach of England, was on the field.
Yep.
And I was telling her I played against her, and she's like, no, I don't remember. And I was like, I remember.
You don't remember?
Hey, if you Hope Powell, you want to forget.
Yeah.
She definitely, that was like survival. That was Darwinism at its finest. She's like, erase from my memory that.
Yeah, but I had gone on this stretch of those free kicks where I hit like 4 or 5 of them in a game and scored. I remember one against Norway, one against Australia. And I don't know what it was. Maybe I just wasn't thinking, but I was just hitting them so pure. I think there was a span where Michelle was out, so I started taking some of those long range free kicks. And I don't know, I just got into this groove where I was just striking them so well that I just kind of try not to think about it, just hold on and let it happen.
I remember too that groove of you and Millie and Mac just like running through teams. I mean, they couldn't keep up with the pace of you guys. And that was a perfect example of that goal, that third one.
I mean, the first goal that Mac scores in this game, people talk about like different players you played with. First of all, you try to tell players about keeping everything short, through, and compact. And that her first goal is just like that. It's really short to the ball. It's a compact follow through, and that's what keeps it so low. But she probably hit the heaviest ball I have ever witnessed.
Mm-hmm. We're talking Shannon McMillan,
yes,
for crop who doesn't know.
I want to say that goal was an all WCC affair, me to Millie to Mac. And Millie and Mac had a great connection because they played college soccer together.
Yeah.
But that was awesome.
It's just, the run was great. She kept it wide and created the angle for Millie to serve that ball into. And then just the finish was clinical. I mean, the goalkeeper didn't even have a chance to get her feet set. Mm-hmm. It was already past her.
It was classic Mac too, right? Yeah. Like that was, I just feel like when I watched that today, I was like, oh my gosh, I saw her score so many of those for, with us professionally with San Diego and then with the national team, of course. And like you said.
And in training, I mean, and then you would always hear that cackle.
Oh, she's going to like that. She's going to watch today. I talked to her earlier.
Yeah, after she'd do it, you just hear this cackle and be like, seriously. But I mean, all the times I'd watch her and I'd try to hit side volleys or half volleys, I could never hit them as pure as she did.
Yeah, I know. So good. And then there was a fifth goal that was just, I mean, in the 81st minute, it was.
I think it ripped the net off.
I said to Shannon, thank goodness you put it exactly where you did, because I'm not so sure from farther out it would have gone in.
1 yard. That's my
you are lethal from 1 yard.
Really my best range.
Yeah, it's very
and literally like no one marking me. And Amy Altman, who was calling the game, Amy Griffin, didn't even bring that up. It wasn't like, good God, Julie, if you had missed that, whoa. It was, oh, what a nice run by Julie. Not that she was completely unmarked and wide open, and she better finish that. Oh, good.
It was just a sophisticated run, Jules.
So sophisticated.
Brandi, you made a run in this extended highlight too at the end, sister. 90th minute, I'm sure that you were streaking down the left side. Cut a couple players, get to the end line, find Cindy Parlow on a platter. You're gonna have to remind her of this, and then.
Hey, scoring goals is hard. It's not easy to be Mia Hamm.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I mean, I felt pretty good about that. I would have liked the assist, but oh well. CP did a good job of getting the box.
Oh, that was nice.
The way
the thing that, I had a couple takeaways, like the crowd. One, pre-1999, we're trying to convince U.S. soccer that this is a marketable venture, as we had been arguing for 10 years, right? Like, let's go on this. But that was really a turning point, I think, for us as well, because it was a great crowd. It was a great game. It was the first time, I believe, we were on ESPN. Is that right? I think it was, right?
That's right.
As you mentioned earlier, over 17,000, Brandi, in attendance in your hometown. I mean, probably 15,000 of them were Chastain family members or friends. I don't know.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Friends of Brandi.
Lark and Roger, your parents were in the audience then, right?
Yeah, my brother, my parents. Yeah.
Oh, that's good times. What were some of your takeaways as well when you watched it? What were the emotions of watching 23 years later? God,
that eyebrows changed. And, and why did we have on like such big uniforms? I don't get it. Like, not one of us said that's not good. That's not good.
That white is not a good look on me.
It's just too big. We wore it way too big. Why did that happen? That was one takeaway.
That was the style.
I know, but it was like it felt so like, by looking at it, it just looks so like cumbersome. Like it was, do you remember it being heavy? Like a little heavy, and shorts were a little heavy. I don't know.
Imagine how fast we could have been.
Imagine how fast. You know what I remember of that? I think after watching the highlights again, it's just this overall joy. Every time someone scored, everybody came together, and just the smiles and the high fives, and I just thought that was always so great how excited we would get for one another. You know, whether we scored or somebody else scored, it was just always so fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I love seeing Tony, and
Me too.
yeah, when they kind of panned to him on the bench, and
Oh, how about when Jules scored and then they panned to him? He's like, "Oh God."
I, to the contrary, thought that was the most excited he had been all game.
Well, I mean, what I mean is, like, his smile was like, "Yeah, you better have scored it," but that was really great, Jules.
Way to go, Jules.
oh, I'm gonna have to live with this. That's more of what.
Yeah, exactly. That's right.
No, but I think just the joy on his face, and there was so much great momentum, kind of, you know, we just came off the Olympics, but then there's that span of, you know, 2.5 years where we don't know what's going to happen. And, you know, seeing how enthusiastic we all were to kind of be out there, and some of the things, you know, the level of play on the field. And I think really kind of, I don't know, you know, Tony was someone who was always teaching, and to see him just really kind of take a deep breath and enjoy it was fun to kind of look back on.
Mm-hmm. And that is the time period, because it's always that, you know, World Cup, Olympics, 3-year gap, which was always our challenge, as you were saying, is to create some momentum outside of a World Cup or Olympic year. And again, we were hosting 99, and we didn't know yet how people would respond to that, right? Because we were going into big stadiums. We were going nationally against so many people's advice who said you should keep it regional, you should keep it small, you should keep it on the East Coast, keep it in 5,000, 10,000 seat stadiums, play it safe. You know, people will come. And that was another reaffirmation of all the things we believed, right? That people would come, that there would be a showing, that if we just built some and invested in the market, that they would show up, which is, and I'm not sure if we were cognizant of that at the time, but I want to believe we probably were. I just don't remember, right? Going towards 99 and what that would mean for 99.
I think there was great, if I can recall this correctly, you know, since the Olympic Games weren't live, like none of our games were live. And I think how many live seconds did we get? Like 60 seconds towards the end of the game, right?
Yeah, right. That's true. That's a great point from NBC in 96.
Yeah, so I think this opportunity was great for television too, because it did showcase to a bigger audience than had seen us win the Olympics for the first time. So, you know, the fact that we had 17,000 something in the stands, I think showed the audience at home, well, that looks like a really fun thing to go and be a part of.
Right.
You know, and I think that was definitely, like you said, foreshadowing for 99, in that there was something happening and the fans could feel it and they could see it.
I still remember when we showed up at the 2000 Olympics. Do you remember Dick Ebersol?
Yes.
And that just sparked that memory with you talking about NBC only showing. I mean, we were still getting that crowd with them only showing a couple minutes of the final, and he pulled us into his office.
I remember.
Was it you, me, and was it the three of us?
I know I was there for sure.
Yeah.
Jules and Mia, I think.
Yeah, I think it might have been the three
late
of us.
night, wasn't it late night? We went there late.
Yeah, and he wanted to talk to us. Dick Ebersol ran the Olympics for NBC for many years, a great mind in television, a giant in television. And I thought that meant so much to us. He pulled us in and said, I want to apologize to you guys, because the greatest mistake we made was not showing that game in 1996, and we won't make that mistake again.
Wow.
Yeah. That was awesome.
That's awesome. I know, just watching the game, one of the things were we all wearing armbands in that game?
Yeah.
So because it was May 97, so today is actually the 23rd anniversary of my brother passing. And so I think you guys were still wearing the armbands for my brother, because I was sitting there going, wait, are those the same armbands that we were wearing? And it was. And so
yeah.
I just want to say thanks again for all you guys doing that for me and my family, and supporting us throughout all of that. I remember him passing 3 weeks prior to that game, and being with my family was so important, but obviously being with you guys, just being able to kind of get lost in the game and kind of find comfort in knowing that I was able to play and stay physically active when he wasn't able to. So just that glimpse of those armbands made me think about, and then the fact that we're talking about it today is just
wow. And that we're re-airing that game today. That's wow.
And my family will be watching. My sisters were the ones saying, hey, did you know about this? And I was like, yeah, I'm going to talk about it in a couple hours.
Oh, oh my gosh, Meech. And then for you to have the game that you had 3 weeks later. Oh my gosh.
That's I think you just realize, I mean, you can talk on this in terms of loss in your life, and how this team and this game kind of helps you heal in ways that you never thought imaginable. And so I think for me, it was just a really great way to kind of, as Colleen talked about, hunt joy, just find the joy in what I'm able to do, and the people my teammates and friends that I'm able to do that with. And so just being able to kind of step aside from that and grieve in a way that was more therapeutic for me, I think was important to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Our team was always really good at hunting joy and finding joy and spraying it around. I mean, the amazing thing too is to this day that, that we're all still so tight in that sense, right? And that, as I always say to you guys, you're stuck with me for life, but that we're still able to connect in so many different ways. And even if we haven't seen each other, it's seamless, right? This
you're a lot, Foudy, so a little of you goes a long way.
I need you in small doses, right? That's what you're thinking. But that's the thing I always tell my kids. And when I talk to teams, and I know right now when teams are struggling or seniors are struggling because they've missed out on a season, or they're missing out on walking through graduation, whether it's high school or college, the thing I always say is, you may not have that moment, but you have these friends for the rest of your lives, right? And they really, that's been one of the gifts of my life, is having you all still present in my kids' lives. I mean, Izzy just popped on to say hi before we started this. Deck's going to be mad because he's upstairs and he didn't get to say hi. So I love you.
Yeah.
Love you too.
Love you too.
And I think, sorry, B, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, like when Mia was talking about her brother, and, when I lost my mom, I was with the team. And I couldn't imagine being anywhere else. I love my brother and I love my husband, but you were my sisters, and I can't imagine that having been any other way. And I was exactly where I was supposed to be. And my mom, I think she would have been happy to know that. And so I think there is this long lasting, we play the games in the moments, right? Those are amazing moments that we've had in our life, but I think it's the lasting legacy of our friendship. I think that's really what has made all those moments that people get to see in the games so special. And even though you give me rash of crap all the time, I'm going to take it from you every time.
No, I wouldn't do that.
I think it's those times, you know, when we look at games like this, you know, World Cup in '99, Olympic gold medals, that's the happy ending of all the hard work. And I think we valued kind of that struggle, kind of the discomfort that happened every single day, is learning how to embrace it. And because, you know, at the end that there's this feeling and this sense of you earned to be there, you know, you earned to stand on the top step of the podium because of what you invested into it. And it wasn't just one player, it was all of us together, and we all needed each other more so at certain times than others. You know, there were days where I was really struggling in one aspect, and you guys were kind of there to pick me up and drag me across the finish line, and vice versa. And so I think that sense of knowing that no matter how vulnerable you were at times, that we kind of stayed together, and just makes all the victories and the great times even that much better because of what we were able to kind of do together.
Yeah, it really is the gift that keeps on giving, because when people want you to pick a moment or a highlight, or, you know, an Olympics or a World Cup you won, and I never go to that. I mean, the first thing that always comes to mind, the memory or the thing I miss the most or the highlight, is us just laughing or us being together. I mean, and it's the hardest thing, and was the hardest transition, honestly. It wasn't missing the game, it was missing all of you and the craziness that came with that. So and it's a good reminder to young kids. I love when they hear us talk this way, in a sense of like, there's so much you get out of sport physically, but so much you're going to get emotionally and mentally and psychologically from that base of friends that will stay with you forever.
Did you watch the Emily Sonnet, Rose Lavelle, and Sam Ewis video before the Australia-USA game?
No.
I think I'm happy that they seem to be having these kind of friendships too, and they laugh and they're telling stories, and, you know, just like who did this and who did that, and just, you know, I think it's that carefree joy and friendship like we had, and I'm happy to see that. But I got to ask you a question that they asked on that, and if you don't say me, then I know why you're wrong. So, if you had to be stuck in quarantine with anybody, Julie, from our team, who would it be?
Oh, really? That's a good one.
Now, I'm going to let you think on that. And the reason why I said you would say me is because I'm going to give myself props on this. I was very good at collecting all the snacks in the house before.
Yeah, I was going to say you cooked a lot.
We had lots of snacks, and I always had the food with me, and you're always like, why are you doing that? And I said, you're going to come back to me when you're hungry, which would be like in 15 minutes. And then sure enough, you'd come back.
But Mia had the best wine.
Okay, fair enough. It will be Mia then.
That's hard. Food or wine? Food or wine?
As long as I don't have to do like 1,000 sit-ups a day, Brandi.
Star jumps.
Come on.
Let's go, people. That's Brandi.
You guys.
All right, put your jerseys on. Let's go.
Are you serious?
We're out of time. It's time for the game.
Oh no.
On my clock. You got your jersey? I didn't warn you. Oh, look, Brandi's.
I just have my pencil sharpener.
Party people. Oh, wait, what? Is that the real sports bra?
That's it, baby.
Oh my God, I thought it was in a museum. It's on your couch.
No, it's not on my couch. It's on my wall.
Brandi, just get naked. It's the same thing.
Look.
It's game time.
It's been too many years, my friend.
All right, the game, a reminder, kicks off 8 p.m. Eastern on probably what you're watching right now. I don't know, 5 p.m. Pacific time for those who are time zone challenged. That's my timer saying we're at 30 minutes. JP Della Camera, Amy Allman, now Griffin on the call. I love you all. Enjoy.
What do you want to say?